Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyana Habib Ilahi Rabbil Alameen Abil Qasim al-Mustafa Muhammad wa alihi tayyibin al-tahirin al-ma'sumin al-mazlumin al-muntajabin siyama baqiyat Allah al-azam baqiyat Allahu khayrun lakum in kuntum mu'minin wa la'anatu da'ima ala adaihim ajma'in من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال أمير المؤمنين في مناجاة الشعبانية بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إلهي لم يكن لي حول. Oh my God, I have no strength. حول, which points out to the strength. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. That's why there is no حول, there is no strength but the strength of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا حول ولا قوة. إلهي Lam yakun li hawlun. O my Lord, O Allah, O Ilahi, I have no strength. Ilahi lam yakun li hawlun fantaqila bihi an masiyatik. That I do intiqal, that I get rid of, that I turn, that I leave bihi an masiyatik, from the sins of yours. So basically Amirul Mu'mineen in a beautiful way saying that, oh Allah, I have no strength to come out of sinning, to come out of the sins that I am committing. So this is a very psychological aspect of the soul as well, where a person, when he gets addicted to something, he has no strength at all to really come out of that drug or whatever he is taking, or a sin or a habit that he is committing, because he is locked with that. His soul is in trap of that. His soul have become slave of that. So Amirul Mu'mineen says, Ilahi lam yakun li hawlun. Oh Allah, I have no strength. Fantaqila bihi an masiyatik, to really come out of the strength. But illa في وقت أيخذتني لمحبتك. إلا, except that at a time when you will give me, when you will provide me, when you will arouse me. You know, yaghze is like waking up, awakening is known as yaghze. One of the founding step towards self-purification according to the ulama of akhlaq is considered as yaghze. Yaghze means awakening, to be awake. So if you look at all the books of akhlaq, you would find the first thing that they discuss is yaghze. Yaghze is awakening, and this is very important. So here he says that Ilahi lam yakun li hawlun fantaqila bihi an masiyatik illa fi waqtin aykhadtani li muhabbatik. At a time when you will provide me, when you will awaken me, li muhabbatik, with your muhabbat. So therefore Amirul Mu'mineen is saying that the way to come out of sinning, when a person sins a lot, when he is sinning with his eyes, he is stuck. He is stuck by sinning, looking at na-mahram, for example, right? Looking at those things which are haram. Or his ears, he is listening, he is addicted to something. Music that is haram, he is addicted to, he cannot come out, he cannot function. Whenever he has to do something, the music has to be there. Or maybe his heart, he is thinking all the time of masiya, or drinking, or whatever, right? Or a person who is an addict, who is addicted to drugs, who is addicted to some sort of, joking or something like that. Or a habit, like for example, he has a habit of biting or poking the nose or doing something silly, Now the way to come out of this is, Amirul Mu'mineen saying, is muhabbat. Is that love have to come into the heart. If the love comes, automatically a person will not do something that is haram or that is not right, because my beloved do not like it, whether the beloved is in here or not. For example, I do something silly, I joke something silly. If I love my mother, if I love my father, if I love my teacher, or if I love somebody whom I am in love with, and I know that this action of mine will not make that person happy, whether that person be in front of me or not in front of me. If I do something that eventually my mother will know, eventually my lover will know, right? Then if I do something that my lover will be hurt, then I will not do it. Yes, there is a fear factor as well. A person may not be able to do something out of fear, but fear will not change the nafs of a person. It will take a very long time for that person to change his nafs. But when the love comes, like for example, just an example, if I am looking something on my phone or on the computer which is not appropriate, which is not right, I should not be seeing that. Now, I will look at it and then I will be afraid, okay, after I go, maybe my parents will see what I am looking. Maybe somebody who respects me, he will see what I am looking. Look what this person is looking, right? Or my students will look at it, for example, what I am looking. Yeah, my children will look at it, for example, what I am looking. So out of fear, I will be careful. But I will try to find ways to somehow escape this fear, so that this fear does not there. I will buy my own laptop or computer or whatever, for example. Or I will go to somewhere that my children are not looking and I will do that act, what I am doing. Maybe it could be whatever, smoking, for example. When somebody is looking, I quickly hide, right? So this is out of fear, but fear will not get rid of the habit that I am doing. The way the habit or the problem of the nafs that a person have will come out is out of love. If I love and I say that I love my beloved, like Majnoon says to Layli, I love Layli. Now Layli, whether be there or not there, I will be thinking of her and will not commit something that will hurt her, whether she is there or not there. Because this is love. I am going through pain. I am going through difficulty. I am suffering just because I want the heart of my beloved to be shad, to be happy. I want my mother to be happy. I want my father to be happy. I don't want them to suffer because of my action. I am doing something which is not right. And this action of mine, because of this action, my parents will suffer. Whether they are alive or they are mahroom, this action of mine will make them suffer. That they will say, what child have you given to this world? For example, right? Because this is when the parents have tried their best to tarbiyat. Yes, they will basically is not accountable for it, like the son of Nuh alayhi salam, for example, right? Nuh is not accountable. Nuh tried his best, but still what I'm trying to say is that if they haven't done their level best, for instance, not done tawajjuh, or brought them up in a bad way, then obviously the effect of their actions will be reflected, that what type of child. So if a person loves his parents, if a person loves someone, not out of fear but out of love. Yes, fear, like I said, may help, but love is the catalyst that will burn. Imam Hussein out of love of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Ishq, love, right? So here Amir al-Mu'minin says, Ilahi lam yakun li hawlun fantaqila bi an masiyatik illa fi waqtin aykhastani li muhabbatik. Awaken me, O Allah, I'm asking you, please, Allah. I have no strength right now. So I ask you, I request you that you ignite your love in my heart. Now, Amir al-Mu'minin asking for love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, this love will be something that will really create that revolution within me, that will bring that change. And Allah, during the lifetime of a person, provides that opportunities of love. Because, the Majnoon have become entangled with the love of Layli because that look, maybe the Layli was going and all of a sudden the curtain shifted because of the wind. The hijab, the veil came out and Majnoon saw Layli. And the Majnoon saw Layli, he became Majnoon. So the same way Allah shows Himself to the creation. Allah shows His beauty to the creation during the lifetime. Inna lillahi fi ayyami dahrikum nafahatin ala fata'arradu laha wa la tu'ridu anha. As there is a very beautiful hadith that comes from the Imam Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. He says that inna lillahi fi ayyami dahrikum, certainly during your lifetime, ayyami dahrikum nafahat. Nafaha is blowing, is air, is from nafas, nafahat, right? Breezes flowing. Ala fata'arradu, beware of this and throw yourself under these special breeze that is blowing from the heaven, right? Make use of them. Do not throw yourself far away from this. Come under this special blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah during the lifetime of ours shows His beauty to us, and we have to be making use of this opportunity. And it happens, when you go to ziyarat, for example, right? You look at the haram of Imam Hussein, Abul Fadl Abbas, automatically tears just flowing into your eyes. You are doing nothing, it's just that love of Hussein, love of Abul Fazl is pulling you towards. Ignite this love, expand this love. When this love comes, as Maulana Rumi says, az muhabbat Shah bande mi shavad, az muhabbat khar gul mi shavad, az muhabbat div, az muhabbat div bande mi shavad, apparently. Shah bande mi shavad. Let me translate. Because of muhabbat, the king will become a slave. Because of muhabbat, a thorn will become a rose. Because of muhabbat, nar nuri mi shavad. Nar is fire, will become nur because of muhabbat. Because of muhabbat, div is like, div means evil, Div becomes a human, becomes insan mi shavad. Insan is not there, but what I'm trying to say is that the poetry is trying to point out to, that is because of muhabbat, because of love, basically man changes. There is a change. Shah bande mi shavad. Khar, a thorn, will become a rose if there is muhabbat. That's why you find as Amir al-Mu'minin or as Imam Hussein or Imam Zainul Abidin, with all that suffering, Hazrat Zainab, Ma ra'aytu illa jamila. I saw nothing but beauty. It was beautiful. This is muhabbat. So during the life of us, you and I, there are opportunities given by God where a person becomes in love with God. Because it, come on, man, yeah, it's enough. It's enough. I have done enough against what God have asked me to. It is time that I take care of myself, that I don't go back to it. Now, this have to be, make use of. And the way to make use of it is that we have to ask God on it. We have to ask Allah. Oh Allah, as says, Ilahi lam yakun. Ilahi lam yakun li hawlan fantaqili bi an masiyatik illa fi waqtin ay khastani li muhabbatik. Oh Lord, I have no possibility of having any strength to come out of it. Create that love in me. So we have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, there's this jazibah, God does this jazb of ours towards Him. The other thing that we could look at is the ta'asir, or the effect of this muhabbat that a person may have. For example, in this we kind of point out to that there are certain ways God have showed His muhabbat. God have showed His muhabbat to us. Now, how God have showed muhabbat? ثُمَّ سَوَّاهُ وَنَفَخَ ثُمَّ سَوَّاهُ وَنَفَخَ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. I gave him the form, I created Adam, وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي وَنَفَخَ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي, or in another place, وَنَفَخْتُ. God created Adam, and in Adam, God says, I have blown my spirit. So God have not said, I have created the creation, I have blown my spirit. But for Adam, see, God is showing His love to insan. Right? وَصَوَّرَكُمْ فَأَحْسَنَ سُوَرَكُمْ. God says in the Quran, I have gave them a surat, savarakum, form. فَأَحْسَنَ سُوَرَكُمْ. I have given man the best of the form. He has not said that I have created, this thing, that thing in the best, but for insan, He says the best of form is given to insan. Ahsan Allahu, right? God even praises Himself after creating it. So this is showing the muhabbat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to us, that God have breathed His own spirit into us. God have created us in the best form. God have made us a potential representative of His. Because somebody, for example, you love, you will make him a representative. So insan, God loves you. Oh human being, God loves you. That's why He have given you. In the earlier part we have clearly read in the dua where Amirul Mu'mineen is clearly saying that Ilahi, Ilahi, you have shown me beauty in this dunya. Right? Ilahi, qad ahsanta ila idha lam tudhira li ahadin min ibadika salihin. Right? You have shown me beauty in this dunya, so show me beauty in the hereafter as well. Ilahi, you have hidden my faults in this dunya in dua munajat. I would request you that you hide my faults from those who are in the hereafter and the ibadak as-salihin, those who are the righteous one. So Allah is continuously showing His love. Ya Yuhannas, qad ja'akumur rusulu bil haqqi min rabbikum. He has sent Rasul. He has sent the book to us. He has sent the guidance. All of this is pointing out to the love of God to us. God is showing His love by addressing us. That's why we have this Jashn Taklif, they call it, right? Which means that the celebration of reaching the age of puberty, where a person reaches the age of puberty, for example, completion of 14 years in boys, and predominantly known as completion of 9 years in girls. They say that it has become wajib for you to pray. It has become wajib for you to fast. So there is a sunnah in a way which has been established by Sayyid ibn Taus, a great scholar, because he said that I am celebrating when he reaches age of 15 by saying that, because from now on God is directly addressing me. When God says Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, it means me, because I have reached the age of maturity. So it's an honor that God is speaking to me now. Before, when I was 10 years old, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, well, it is not wajib for me. But now when I have reached the age of maturity, God is. So God have seen the capability and capacity in me where He could speak to me, where He could, for example, trust me, rely on me, so that I spread His love, so that I spread His message, so that I listen to Him. I have become a faithful individual for God. I have become a place of trust for God, amanat of God, that I will not be the trap of shaitan, in the trap of shaitan. So therefore God have shown His love in different ways, by making insan in the best form, by breathing His ruh into us, by giving us Sharia, by sending us Rasul, by giving us the muhabbat of Ahl Bayt. We are so lucky. There are many out there. Yes, they are all good people, good human beings. But God have provided us with the muhabbat of Ahl Bayt. This is love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala towards us. But now, if I am not an insan, if I am not a human being, with the love of Ahl Bayt, I am in a worse position than a person or my neighbor who does not have love of Ahl Bayt, but he has some insaniyat. So he has some humanity. But I don't. From little things to big thing. I am traveling in a tube. There comes an old person. If I am just sitting and enjoying the ride, I don't get up to give the seat for this old person, whether that person be Muslim, non-Muslim or whatever. Right? And I'm not giving that seat to him. Where is the muhabbat of Ahl Bayt in my heart? But a person who is non-Muslim, who's even perhaps an atheist, but he gets up, he has some insaniyat. He does not know about Imam Hussain at all. Right? So therefore that is in humanity. That muhabbat, that insaniyat, that muhabbat should really change me and make me a better person. Just saying and claiming I having now I will go on a deeper level of this by saying, for example, I'm sitting, but I'm so engrossed in my phone, playing game, right? Playing game on my phone. Somebody is standing there, I don't pay attention to. Once again, preoccupation, ghaflat, negligence because of the dunya. I am missing out on an act of humanity. But there's another person who is just sitting and observing and watching. And then as soon as he notices somebody enters, he gets up, old person, and then he tries to, right? So a lover of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam is someone who is looking forward to opportunities by which he could show his love to God, because fulfillment of wajibat, fulfillment of mustahabbat is a manifestation of our love to God. Don't take taklif, don't take the commands of God, fasting, praying, staying away from sins, as something that is very heavy, very difficult to do. Yes, it may be difficult to do, but when we are doing it, it is actually showing our love to God. Count that as a love. Do not take it as something like a taklif. Like taklif, not in Urdu, it's taklif, but in Arabic, as a responsibility. Yes, it's a responsibility that I have to carry this out. But if this responsibility is carried out of love, will be something different. Right? My mom or my parents have asked me to, for example, clean up the house before they return. Now, I have to clean it up, but if I clean it up out of love of theirs, I will clean it up in a very different way. I will enjoy it, and the element of love is reflected in my actions. And when they arrive, the way that will attract them, the way it will pull them will be very different. A worker will do some work at your home, but your child does some work at your home as well. The child, if he has done with love, the same thing, the dusting, the cleaning up or whatever, it will have a different ta'asir effect in the heart of a person, right? Because there is love in that action. So if we pray to Allah, if we fast, if we do munajat, if we recite Quran, if we have that love and we recite yusabbihu lillahi ma fis samawat wal ard wal awwal wal akhir wal zahir wal batin, right? Allah is the one who is the first, who is the last, who is the zahir, who is the batin, right? Wa huwa alimun bi dhati sudur. He is aware of your hearts. So when you are reciting, there should be some element of love. What a beauty God is. That He is the first, He is the last. Beautiful. He is the Zahir, He is the Batin. He is the one who brings down whatsoever descends from the heaven and whatsoever goes from the earth. How beautiful my Lord is. There is this recital, and there is recital that, okay, you're reciting because you have to recite for the sake of sawab. You want to get some reward in the hereafter. So the element of love in our ibadat, in our practice, is very important. So this love will create love with God. And we ask God that, oh God, oh Lord, oh Allah, Ilahi, put love in our ibadat. See, it is the love of Imam Hussein that people walk from Najaf to Karbala. It is that love. It is the love of Imam Hussein that people come and do that charity. Even if they have nothing, but they are giving charity. This is love, right? It is not khums, it is not zakat, but it is out of love they are doing this. So love is very important. Muhabbat, as it says, what love will do, the asar of muhabbat. فَمَنْ أَمِلَ بِالرِّضَى أُلْزِمُهُ ثَلَاثَ خِصَالٍ. If somebody, for the pleasure of God, acts, this hadith is from the Prophet, and this is a hadith of Miraj. Somebody who performs out of rida of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will give him 3 khisal. Muhabbatan la yu'thiru ala muhabbati hubbal makhluqeen. God will provide him a muhabbat, a type of muhabbat that will not be overpowered by the muhabbat of makhluqeen. He will have the love of God only. He will not have the love of makhluqeen. This doesn't mean that he will not love makhluqeen, He would love makhluqeen, but his love will be fillah, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Hussein loved Ali Asghar. Imam Hussein loved Ali Akbar. Hazrat Zainab loved Awna Muhammad. Not that they did not love, but the love of God. Hazrat Zainab loved Imam Hussein. How much love Hazrat Zainab have for him? But on the eve of Ashura, she lifts Imam Hussein. Allahumma taqabba hada qaleel. Oh Allah, accept this qaleel. Even Hussein in the eyes of God is qaleel, is little. Right? So therefore, faman amila birrida, someone who acts in the pleasure of God, God will give him 3 khisal. Muhabbatan la yu'thiruha, no athar, ala muhabbati, my muhabbat, hubbul makhluqeen, of makhluqeen. فإذا أحبني أحببته وحببته إلى خلقه. When he will love me, right, I will love him, and I will make the khalq love him. Hussein Jan, how beautiful you are. You loved God, and you gave, and that love of God was overpowering than the love of all your children. Now the whole world says, Labbaik ya Hussein. Huh? The whole world love Imam Hussein. Hazrat Zainab Salamullah alayha, she loved the brother, she loved God, she sacrificed everything. Even that chadar that she is wajib for her. Huh? Right? She sacrificed everything. Now, God loved her, she loved God, and God made the whole makhluqeen loved her. Labbaik ya Zainab. Right? That's what it means. Right? وَأَفْتَحْ عَيْنَ قَلْبِهِ إِلَى جَلَالِهِ. And God will open the heart of this person to the jalal of Allah. وَعَظَمَتِهِ, to the azamat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a person acts by pleasure, Allah will open his heart to a type of ma'rifat, to a type of knowledge that no one could ever imagine. Only God is aware of this person's heart. Yes, he may not be. Now see, when we are talking about ma'rifat, do not ever always think that ma'rifat comes with a turban on the head. Only Maulana knows. No, anybody. God opens the heart for that person. It could be anybody. And the ma'rifat and knowledge that he would have, no one will know. And he does not care. He does not care that others know. Sometimes we Maulana cares. Oh, how was my majlis? How am I looking? People come and do tarif. They praise us. They enjoyed it. See how I'm so knowledgeable. I care about my ma'rifat. But when that true ma'rifat of God comes into the heart of a person, he will not care about whether anybody knows or not, because he has his Lord. As Imam Hussein says, when I have you, who I care about anybody? I have you, O Allah. Huh? Imam Hussein says, فَقَدْ أَرَفْتُكَ. Yeah, I think it's أَرَفْتُكَ. أَنْتَ دَلَّلْتَنِي إِلَيْكَ. O Allah, I have your ma'rifat because you showed me yourself to me. God shows to his abd. Direct ma'rifat from Allah to the abd. Why he will care of anybody? People know or people not know. It is him and his God. It is her and his Lord and her Lord. So here, وَأَفْتَحْ عَيْنَ قَلْبِهِ إِلَى جَلَالِهِ. God will open his heart to the jalal of Allah. وَعَظَمَتِهِ فَلَا أُخْفِيَ عَلَيْهِ إِلْمَ خَاصَّةِ خَلْقِهِ. And God will provide him with the ilm khas, with the unique and special knowledge of the creation. He will know everything. He will have knowledge of every little thing directly from God. This needs that amal bir rida. Our action should be for pleasing God, pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? That's how our action should be. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our actions. There are other hadith and riwayat, however, the time will not allow us. Now, I'll just mention one thing because let's wrap it up. This finishes up. Now, how one would create that love? That is, Hazrat Musa alayhi salam says that to Allah says to Hazrat Musa, Barai ijad muhabbat man dar qulub bandegan. I'm following the Sharawaitullah Tahriri, right? For the ijad of muhabbat. Barai ijad muhabbat man. For the ijad of muhabbat of mine. Dar qulub bandegan, in the hearts of bandegan. Ishon ra be ni'mat hayam. به آنان متذکر شو زیرا آنها جز تمامی خیرات را از من نمی شناسند. O Musa, in order to create the love of mine into the heart of bandegan, remind them of the ni'mat that I have given them, because they do not know, right? Because they do not know that all khairat is from the Lord. basically they do not know, in the sense that they are ghafil, they are forgetful. We forget. We think this eyesight that we have, the food that we have, the heart that is, it's something, the routine. It's routine. It's happening, and we have qudrat over it. But if we just think every instance, we are faqr, we are nothing, we are relying on God. It is God who is providing all of this. It is from Him. How will not this create love of God? He is the provider of everything. How can we not love Him? Right? How can we go against His will? How can we do something that He does not like? Who are we to really do something which He does not like? The qudrat is from Him, and still we are using that qudrat to act something that will displease Him. The house, the money, the property, for example, is from my parents, and I'm using the same thing to displease them. How pathetic. So everything is from Allah. Every little thing is from God. So remembrance of His ni'mat, this aspect of thinking, listening, trying to connect these things and try to understand. There are many people, for example, right, who do not have these things, but God have given us. Yes, they have their own, taklif, responsibility, but we have ours. So therefore that rida, that pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very important in our actions, so that the muhabbat comes, by remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has given us the form, He has given us the deen, He has given us, ahsan, from best from all makhluqeen. But this muhabbat, even, ilahi, la hawl, there is no strength. I have no strength. God have to give that love. Now that the month of Ramadan is coming up, perhaps we can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to really provide us with that love of His in our hearts, inshallah. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi tahirin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and we'll see you next week again. Good night.